डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब आंबेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी।
Hello learners, welcome to the session of Master's Program of Journalism and Mass Communication. Today we are going to discuss about the paper Journalism under the Journalism and Mass Communication Media Occupations. Now when we talk about media occupations, let us understand what kind of occupations are there in media. हम हमेशा मीडिया ऑन स्क्रीन ऑफ स्क्रीन देखते हैं। मीडिया क्या होता है? तो मीडिया इलेक्ट्रॉनिक, मीडिया ऑडियो, मीडिया विजुअल, मीडिया प्रिंट मीडिया, हर तरह के मीडिया के डिफरेंट ऑक्यूपेशंस है। और जितना इजी हम आधे घंटे का कोई भी शो देखते हैं, वी ऑल सी न्यूज़ पेपर्स, न्यूज़ प्रोग्राम्स, न्यूज़ इवेंट्स, वी लिसन टू द न्यूज़ इन द रेडियो ऑल्सो. Now, how does these things are prepared? How many employees are required? कहाँ से ये लोग आते हैं, कैसे वो काम करते हैं, कहाँ पे उनको नौकरी मिलती है, कैसे नौकरी मिलती है, क्या क्वालिफिकेशंस है, उसके बारे में ये पेपर में वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस. The paper will cover basically all kind of audio, visual, electronic media, advertising field, social media, and what are different profit and non-profit media, जहाँ से हम उसकी occupation के बारे में, जहाँ से हम उनका start दे सकते हैं, उसके बारे में इस पेपर में डिस्कस करेंगे. So let us start with the first unit of the paper of the journalism, and the first unit talks about the reporter. रिपोर्टर कौन होता है, रिपोर्टर कहाँ से आता है, न्यूज़ रिपोर्टर कौन होता है, हम उसके बारे में थोड़ी बात करेंगे. हम सब जब न्यूज़ की बात करते हैं तो एक बहुत अच्छा सा स्टूडियो, एक बहुत अच्छा सा रूम, जहाँ पे फटाफट अलग अलग ग्लिम्सेस, आज की ताज़ा खबर, आज की ये खबर, हमको क्राइम के बारे में, स्पोर्ट्स के बारे में, दुनिया के हर कोने के बारे में न्यूज़ मिलती है. न्यूज़ कैसे आती है, कैसे लेनी चाहिए, उसका काम क्या है, उसके बारे में इस यूनिट में बात होगी. हम अगर बात करें तो ये यूनिट से हमको क्या फ़ायदा होने वाला है, हम क्या सीखने वाले हैं. तो द ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऑफ दिस यूनिट इज़ टू हेल्प स्टूडेंट्स अंडरस्टैंड द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ रिपोर्टिंग इन जर्नलिज्म, हाउ टू एलिमिनेट पर्सनल बायस इन न्यूज़ रिपोर्ट्स, बेसिक टू एक्सपर्ट ट्रेनिंग इन वेरियस मीडिया. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट्स है जब हम न्यूज़ रिपोर्टर की बात करें, क्या क्या होना चाहिए, कैसे होना चाहिए. जब हम ये यूनिट को ख़त्म करेंगे तो यूनिट से आप लोग क्या सीखने वाले हैं. तो द यूनिट विल हेल्प यू टू गेन एक्सपर्टीज इन न्यूज़ गैदरिंग एंड डिसएमिनेशन स्किल्स, बी अ गुड जज ऑफ न्यूज़ वर्दीनेस, फाइंड योर नाइक एंड इंटरेस्ट इन वेरियस एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ न्यूज़ रिपोर्टिंग. अब इसके बारे में हम सीख के पूरा ये जो यूनिट का निचोड़ है वो ये 3 पॉइंट्स में कवर होता है. अब हम शुरू करते हैं यूनिट से कि न्यूज़ रिपोर्टर क्या होता है, न्यूज़ रिपोर्टर क्या काम करता है, बेसिकली व्हाट इज़ द वर्क ऑफ न्यूज़ रिपोर्टर, व्हाट डज ही डू. तो अ गुड न्यूज़ रिपोर्टर गैदर्स इंफॉर्मेशन, writes about the information or report in a lucid manner, and disseminates the information via newspaper, television, radio, internet, wire services, or any other medium or platform to the readers, viewers, and listeners. It is expected of the reporter to give fact-based information in objective manner. कोई भी रिपोर्टर होता है, उसको उसकी न्यूज़ डिलीवर करनी है. He has to answer or at least tries to answer all 5 W. वो W क्या है? तो who, when, where, what and why. कभी भी न्यूज़ रिपोर्टर को कुछ भी बात करनी है तो ये बातें जानना ज़रूरी. कोई भी स्टोरी है, एनी स्टोरी हैज़ टू कवर दीज W's एंड 1 H, दैट इज़ हाउ. कैसे कोई भी इंसिडेंट हुआ, क्यों हुआ, उसके बारे में क्या फैक्ट्स हैं. जो पॉइंट्स की हम बात करें, जो W's की हम बात करें, तो वो टू द पॉइंट होना चाहिए. उसको उसकी हिस्ट्री, जोग्राफी सब नहीं बताना है. जो इंसिडेंट हुआ उसकी फैक्ट फाइंडिंग बतानी. द फैक्ट हैज़ टू बी रिपोर्टेड. द इंफॉर्मेशन इन एनी न्यूज़ रिपोर्ट would by and large be of the interest of the readers as well as viewers, because viewers are selective of their own content. Usually news regarding city, civic issues, crime, courts, politics, current affairs, government, gender issues, human interest are some of the subjects that are enduring interest of the point of view of both reporter as well as the organization and the readers. ये तीनों को कंबाइन करके न्यूज़ बनती है. A reporter should always be able to identify the news point. There is one point in the news that is to be highlighted. It is in the report, and get all the participants or stakeholders given their version on the issue. What is expected by the viewers? What is expected by the stakeholders? Now we know what is breaking news. Breaking news आती है, हम हर न्यूज चैनल में, हर रेडियो में आज की ताज़ा खबर, न्यूज, ब्रेकिंग न्यूज, ऐसा सब बहुत सुनते हैं. Now what this breaking news is? The breaking news is an integral part of a reporter's function. Reporting is often gathering of routine information based on events happening in universities, in any courts, in municipal corporations, in meetings, in assembly or parliament, or road mishap, a crime, anything. News breaks in these days of television and online journalism could mean being the first it is to be delivered, the first one to show, the first one to give information in very few seconds from happening of the incident. With announcing of the information, it should be in few seconds. The other more stringent definition of news break is breaking an exclusive news which no other paper or medium has or likely to have for a while, till they follow it up or do their own investigations. It is just a pick point news. Breaking news can overlap with scoop, but it is not the same. ब्रेकिंग न्यूज में हम कंटिन्यूस एक बात रिपीट करते हैं, कंटिन्यूस एक ही बात को हम आज ये हुआ, आज ये हुआ. अभी रिसेंटली इलेक्शंस गए तो इलेक्शन की न्यूज होती है. अभी वनडे क्रिकेट हुआ तो वनडे क्रिकेट होता है. अभी वर्ल्ड कप हुआ तो वर्ल्ड कप फुटबॉल की न्यूज होती है. इट इज शुरू से लेके एंड तक का क्या हुआ, किसी को लगी तो भी न्यूज है, किसी ने सिक्स मारा तो भी न्यूज है, कोई आउट हुआ तो भी न्यूज है. इट इज द पॉइंट इन न्यूज विच इज हैपनिंग एट दैट वेरी सेकेंड, एंड ईच एंड एवरी मीडिया, ईच एंड एवरी professional tries to show or deliver his or her news at the very very next second the thing is happening. So it is called as a breaking news. A reporter should develop sources and contacts in his beat to be updated about the information and news that he can pass on to the readers. The reporter establishes mutual trust and confidence with the sources. Sources क्या होते हैं? जहाँ से उनको पता है कि न्यूज़ मिलने वाली है, तो वहाँ पे वो अपने सोर्सेज ऐसे डेवलप करते हैं कि उनको सबसे पहले वो न्यूज़ की खबर मिले. वो सबसे पहले, कई बार ऐसा होता है कि in few events, before the guest is coming, before the event is happening, the news reporters reach first. How is it possible? Because they know, they have their own sources. Through that sources, they reach to the people, they reach to the stakeholders, they reach to the market where they are supposed to deliver the information before any kind of event, incident, or a meeting, or kind of any decision making thing happening. That taps them from time to time to be the first one to break the story, the first one to deliver the information that the authority wants to keep under wraps, or to cross-check the facts. They can ask anything. The trust is so sacrosanct that the reporter is not at liberty to reveal her sources should the latter want their names to be kept confidential. Why? Because they are the ones who are leaking the information. So they don't want their names to be delivered. The reporter is the key component in upholding a community's watchdog role. That is the touchstone of the credible news media. Even as a reporter may seem to be a long ranger, she must be a team player in the newsroom. She has to play like a team and gather information from each and every nook hole of a society. There will be times when a news report will crisscross several beats or subject area in journalism vocabulary, and reporters will have to work in tandem with one another. The closer a reporter comes to in professional mirroring is that of a detective or a police investigator. She ought to do her own thinking and analysis of the situation, cover all the loose ends, search for airtight corroborations, and be ready to reach out to colleagues and professionals for the help if needed. And accordingly write and file thorough and irrefutable report. उसको रिपोर्ट लिखना ही पड़ेगा. अगर वो रिपोर्ट नहीं लिखेंगे तो क्या होगा? उसकी रिपोर्ट से उसको इन्फॉर्मेशन मिल रही है, उसकी रिपोर्ट से उसको जो भी डिटेलिंग चाहिए न्यूज़ की वो मिल रही है. सो जस्ट टू सम अप व्हाट अ रिपोर्टर इज डूइंग, The reporter gathers information, writes out the information in a lucid manner and disseminates the information via newspapers, all the different kinds of media. It is already discussed. It is expected that the reporter should give precise information with the W's and H we discussed earlier. न्यूज़ रिपोर्टर बनना बहुत आसान है. न्यूज़ रिपोर्टर बन के जो बेसिक हमारा काम है उससे डिविएट नहीं होके एक्चुअल इंफॉर्मेशन देना इज द की रोल ऑफ reporter. Ethics should be maintained. There should be certain rules and regulations that should be maintained, because repetitively I am saying that a news reporter is the person who can create a story. He or she can give first hand information of any kind of event that is happening. Event माने हमको उसको क्यों हुआ, कैसे हुआ, क्या हुआ बताना है. ये ऐसा था इसलिए ऐसा हुआ होगा में वी डोंट हैव टू गो. अ रिपोर्टर डजंट हैव टू गो कि क्या इररिलेवेंट रिलेटिव्स, इररिलेवेंट स्टोरीज से दूर रह के एवरी टाइम विथ ऑल द डब्ल्यूज एच वी हैव टू फॉलो ओनली द फैक्ट्स ऑफ द इंफॉर्मेशन, द एक्चुअल अकरेंसेस ऑफ द इंफॉर्मेशन. चाहे वो ब्रेकिंग न्यूज हो, चाहे वो रेगुलर न्यूज हो, वी कैन नॉट डिविएट आवर सेल्स फ्रॉम डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ द स्टोरीज और डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ द फैक्ट फाइंडिंग्स जो है उससे डिविएट होके नहीं बात करनी है. अब अगर एक अच्छा रिपोर्टर बनना है तो नॉर्मली वी ऑल नो कि कोई भी जॉब के लिए वी हैव टू हैव सर्टेन क्वालिफिकेशंस. नाउ व्हाट क्वालिफिकेशंस आर रिक्वायर्ड फॉर बीइंग अ रिपोर्टर? The key break from the past for a student or a practitioner of journalism is that the news industry has expanded to media industry. Now we don't call it as news industry, it is a media industry where the cycle of news is all day and every day, and the definition of news encompasses all kinds of topics. That is a crucial distinction in today's hyper interconnected world. What we say is a minimum graduation is required. Why minimum graduation? So that you have a good command over language. You should have analytical abilities, usually learnt with the job. It was enough in the past when journalism was largely restricted to print and television media only. A cub reporter or a new entrant in journalism learnt on a job or was mentored by the editors. These days, the ground reality is that the newspaper and media companies do not invest at all in training, and the journalists and the seniors in what usually short-staffed media organizations have very little time to handhold newcomers. So they don't train them, they have to learn on their own. The technology shift too makes formal training a far more important qualification today than previously. Earlier the story was very different, but today we have a lot of competitions, different kind of medias, techno-based events happening. So a reporter must know the tools of the trade. He or she has to be in time. So a degree in journalism or mass communication from a reputed journalism school or any institute is not just imperative or basic backgrounding in the media, but is also a must for reporting job in most media companies. So now there are specializations. Now there are several universities, several institutes, they are offering bachelor's program in mass communication or journalism. They are offering certificate programs in mass communication and journalism, diploma programs, like one is our own university. In our own university, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University, we do offer certificate diploma programs. We do offer post-graduation programs also. Why? So they learn, the learners or the professional learns the basics of journalism. What are the basics of journalism? If we call news gathering, writing and editing, लीगल गाइडलाइंस एंड द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ मीडिया, ये सब पता होना ज़रूरी है. मीडिया ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस ऑल्सो उसका स्ट्रक्चर भी जानना ज़रूरी है. अ की एडवांटेज ऑफ फॉर्मल ट्रेनिंग इज द एक्सपोजर ऑफ न्यू टेक्नोलॉजीज. नाउ वी ऑल नो दैट टेक्नोलॉजीज आर एडवांसिंग, technologies are developing like anything. Every fraction of a second there's a new technology, new technique. So the learner has to learn the techniques of news gathering, reporting, which include the use of smartphones, digital technology, web design, editing and presenting it to the target audience. Everything is new. This would adequate a job for application, for a job application. Now, why master's degree? One was graduation degree, certificate, diploma programs. Master degree would give a wider scope of learning and application by developing skills, techniques, research technologies, investigative journalism. You have to do research, you have to do interview, you will have practical exposure of what you are learning theoretically. You will have internships, you will have specializations and opportunities in academics also. So you come to know that what exactly media professional need to do. The media think tanks, you will come in contact with the media think tanks also. Journalism schools offer further expertise to candidates in their preferred medium. In the last 2 decades, reporting in particular has become shifted from hard news-centric industry to a cross-pollinated ecosystem, where genres such as lifestyle, entertainment, opinion, gaming, technology, social media have become integral parts of the behemoth that is the 24-hour news. Wherever you shift or switch on a news channel, you have all these elements into it. On the completion of the basic courses, aspiring news reporters can opt for advanced studies in print media, broadcast, television, or online news medium. A post-graduation degree without a formal journalism degree too can become a gateway to reporting, since it could involve specialization in the field as well as varied as literature, linguistic, theology, science, urban studies, etc., all which find space in media. All in all, whatever the degree that a reporter may have, what is needed first and the foremost is excellent communication. To become a media professional, having your communication skills is a must. Communication skills to interact with people, sources, authorities at one end of the spectrum, and good writing skills to convey that the information to the readers, to viewers and listeners at the other end. In between the two, a reporter must be able to connect the dots in the information that has been acquired. Reporter needs to know what is happening, how it is happening, how the area is there, what area or what elements it has to cover, it has to connect with. So it is very much important to have the specialized core training. I'll say, rather than having a degree, along with the degree you need to have that particular training of the specialization of field you are interested to work, even in the media field, even in the reporting field. For we were discussing about news reporter. In case of news reporter के लिए न्यूज रिपोर्टर के स्पेशलाइजेशन वाला कोर्स पढ़ना जरूरी है. You go for a specialized paper, you go for specialized certificate program, you go for a diploma program or any kind of higher level studies that will help you to generate new technologies, that will help you to learn new technologies, that will help you to use new technologies. आपको ये सब चीज़ों का exposure मिल रहा है, and that is why you are in the trend. मीडिया इंडस्ट्री, न्यूज़ इंडस्ट्रीज nowadays अगर हम बात करें तो every fraction of second it is changing, it is developing. वो डेवलप कैसे हो रहा है? तो कहीं कुछ कार्टून आ रहा है, कहीं कुछ गाना आ रहा है, कहीं कुछ वो व्हाट वी से जिंगल आ रहा है, उसके थ्रू हम कुछ ना कुछ इंफॉर्मेशन देने की कोशिश करते हैं. एंड व्हाट व्यूअर्स आर डूइंग, व्हाट व्यूअर्स आर सीइंग और व्हाट द लिसनर्स आर डूइंग, उनको वो बोलने के तरीके का एक अट्रैक्शन होता है. व्हाई दैट अट्रैक्शन? तो बिकॉज ऑफ दैट हिज और हर स्टाइल ऑफ स्पीकिंग, बिकॉज ऑफ द न्यूज रीडर्स स्टाइल ऑफ कम्युनिकेटिंग, वो उनका शो जरूर देखेंगे. बहुत सारे न्यूज रिपोर्टर्स ऐसे हैं कि जिनके लिए पीपल नो देम, पीपल वुड लव टू लिसन टू देम. क्यों? बिकॉज दे नो कि उनके हिसाब से, उनके द व्यूअर के टेंडेंसी के हिसाब से, माइंडसेट के हिसाब से वो अपनी इंफॉर्मेशन डिलीवर कर रहे हैं. They are giving what the viewers or what the target group is expecting from the reporter. They know that the reporter is not going to make stories. They know the reporter is going to criticize somebody. They know the reporter is going to argue with the somebody to whom he is taking interview with, or he or she will go in depth of the information what is required for this particular kind of a news. So this was something what we discussed about the degree and qualification which is required by a news reporter. Now, what are the job prospects of a news reporter for print media? Now, we all know that there are different categories in media. One is print media and one is audiovisual media. So, let us first discuss about the reporting for print media and job aspects, prospects and career growth. Reporting for print media is more and more challenging in these days of digital and television media, because print media is now rarely opted by people. Breaking news by print media is very negligible because nobody is going to read. People are going to take it from the smartphones, people are going to take it from the television. Print media works under the space constraints. There is a broadsheet space or a tabloid space, unlike an online magazine which can keep scrolling and a deadline wherein the paper has to be put to bed by a certain predetermined hour, because they have their own limitations of printing when the news has to go for printing or to the press. In India, however, the print media still seems vibrant because लोग पढ़ते हैं, अभी भी लोगों को पेपर मैगजीन पढ़ने की हैबिट है. According to one report, there are over 1 lakh readers in India. Newspapers which are produced in India, 1 lakh newspapers are registered. Registered means they are printed daily, right? Print in both English and various Indian languages is showing growth year after year. And more news dailies are announced across the country today. Why? Because people want to read. Still there's a scope for print media. Theoretically, the job prospects look promising in print media because the revenue share of the advertising pie for print media is shrinking each year. Why? Because advertisement is the only place where they can earn. Nevertheless, most print newspapers and magazines now have their own online versions. Now they have to, again, this technology has to be in line with today's trend. So they have their online editions and at least presence online where the reports are potentially read by a wide users or audience. The distinction between a print reporter and a digital reporter are blurring, at least one in their mobility. This is especially true when it comes to long form or longer narratives, because narratives are possible in case of print media. A journalism that is finding an enduring place in the online space. Since India is yet to allow news to broadcast on radio stations in the country and few televisions, we have that scope. What we say that our country allows the print media to write the facts, where in television and radio they have to speak, they just have to read, they just have to say what is happening, right? The news networks have a reputation for credibility. Print media still offers the best opportunity to make one's reputation as an authentic journalist. There are columns of special print media persons which are read daily. The reach of print is augmented by its online presence and helps further bolsters a reporter's reach. They know what they have to read, they know what they have to write. So, वो उनके हिसाब से तो अपना कॉलम देते ही. Usually in a newspaper, one starts as a reporter in beat as an understudy to someone senior in the beat till the organization is confident of in giving independent charge as one of the reporters in the beat of, or if found to be a misfit, they're moved to be another beat. वहाँ पे उनको उनकी shifts पता चल जाती है कि कितना readability है, कितना नहीं है, क्या popularity है, because in print media रीडर्स की वैल्यू, रीडर्स के रेफरेंस से, रीडर्स के क्रेज से, उनकी रीडेबिलिटी से द रिपोर्टर इज जज्ड, because there are columns by different print media reporters, what they write, whether it is preferred or not, whether it is liked or not by the readers, because the weightage of that paper increases through the columns given by the paper, through the sections given by the paper, through the information given by the paper. The starting salary these days ranges from 15,000 to 25,000 per month in a metro city when we talk about a reporter for print media. The career path would be slow from reporter to senior reporter to principal correspondent to senior correspondent and to chief reporter or a city editor. ये सारे promotions है जो एक news reporter को मिलते हैं. In the newsroom, the standard senior posts are sanction heads like crime bureau chief, civic bureau chief, education bureau chief. These are the coveted positions in the newsroom hierarchy and quite vital to decision making in the daily editorial meetings. Why? Because these are the sections normally given by any kind of print media or news reporters. Seasoned reporters may also find interesting long-term career prospects as investigative journalists because उनके नाम ही काफ़ी है, वो बोलेंगे तो लोग सुनेंगे ही. Roving correspondents, foreign correspondents and as reporters from conflict zones. As someone announces or said, journalism is the first draft of history and reporters are the front lines of it, because reporters are the one who are giving information, and when it is written, see, audiovisual content at times it goes, but written things always remain. So the print media is kind of a journalism which is also called as history for journalism, because they are going to be preserved for years and years. What is written is going to be preserved. So what happened 100 years back, today even if we talk, when we talk about independence, when we talk about the history of India, we always go and find certain, in certain museums also we find different articles or newspaper cuttings of those years. Because it was written, it was saved. Because it was saved, it speaks about our country, it speaks about our information, it speaks about what actually happened or facts that happened during those period of time. So, this was something about the job prospects of any professional in print media. Now, let us discuss about the audiovisual media and job prospects in audiovisual media. The audiovisual media is again a different kind, just a second here. The audiovisual media is again a different kind of a segment which we have to discuss. The professionals over there, the professionals who are talking about audiovisual, they have their own career, they have their own career graph, they have their own career growth. Now, why so? Because audiovisual medium in news is well established in the country now, with numerous channels. We all know news channels which are in English, Hindi or any regional languages. Even regional languages are large number of channels now. Presence of their excellent job and career opportunities are possible. Basic reporting skills are required for print, remain that too for television as well. But where it differs is its in presentation. Here they have to present themselves. An online or TV video reporter is required to write a script, be extempore in presentation of his or her own reports. The reporter must write and read out her own report or script. Sometimes write out the report for news anchor to be present, be ready to be questioned by the anchor, and be ready with the answers regarding the news or event which they are talking about or delivering. Being an audiovisual medium, the reporter must obtain video or even still photograph footage to go along with his news item. It is essential for a TV reporter to be work in harmony with the camera person, because they have to continuously sit in front of the camera. Live coverage of any event is an integral part of reporting on audiovisual channel, because live coverage, they have to show what is happening, they have to speak about what is happening. Constant commentary with relevant and live video is arguably the most exciting part of the audiovisual journalism, because they are showing and they are giving their own interpretations, they are saying what is happening. The challenges before TV reporters is TV indifferent from that of their own counterpart in the print. The right visual and the perfect soundbite can make or break the story of broadcast media. A reporter must not have just infinite patience, but must be able to improvise on the spot. He or she has to take quick decisions, because they are in front of camera, people are viewing them, they don't know what is happening, and if at all there is an error occurring, तो उसको कैसे कवर करना है, जो हो गया उसको कैसे घुमा के बात को वापस बोलना है. अगर एक स्टोरी आप कवर कर रहे हो, अगर वहाँ पे कुछ साउंड आ गया, अगर किसी ने आपको कुछ बोल दिया, अगर कहीं पे कुछ हो गया, तो you are in front of camera with lakhs of people watching you. How you have to improvise, how you have to change, how you have to speak, what you have to speak, because at times ऐसा हो सकता है कि हम जो दिखा रहे हैं, हम जो बोल रहे हैं, उस पर काउंटर अटैक हो, उस पर लोग कुछ और बोले. हम कई बार स्पॉट इंटरव्यूज देखते हैं कि रिपोर्टर स्पॉट इंटरव्यू लेते कि आपको क्या लग रहा है ये इवेंट के बारे में, आपको क्या लग रहा है यहाँ पे आके, आपको कैसा लगा, इसके फील्ड के बारे में कैसा लगा, इसके खेल के बारे में कैसा लगा, इसकी मूवी के बाहर निकले तो एक्टिंग के बारे में कैसा लगा. Every time the reporter does not get the expected answer or expected response from the live location where the news is delivered, where the item is covered. So उस केस में वहाँ पे improvisation is necessary. There some daily, what to say, they have to be ready with on the spot reasoning, on the spot argument, on the spot actions, what they have to do. TV reporters also find themselves constantly competing with their colleagues to get airtime, since the visual medium banks are known on faces. Strategy and patience are essential to a reporter's arsenal. Most news reporters, unless a hot topic of the day or a live event, should be encapsulated in 2 minutes or so. And there lies the talent of the reporter to present the entire news visually and orally in stipulated time. At the starting level, the monthly pay scales of television reporters would be marginally higher than that of print media. So the reporters in case of electronic or audiovisual media will range from 20,000 to 25,000 rupees per month. It is at the senior levels and the news anchor levels where the journalists in TV outrace by a big margin in their media or print counterparts. In TV news channels, anchors like Rajdeep Sardesai, Arnab Goswami, they are known to earn 80 lakh to 1 crore rupees per month salaries. Senior reporters can earn up to 2 lakh rupees per month. Top-notch television channels pay them, because now they have made their base. Now people know who they are. Now people want them to come to the news channel and read and speak about the channel also, speak about the news also from their platform. So they are in demand, and once that demand is occurred, once they are at a level, they are given this kind of higher pay. It must be noted here that business channels and lifestyle and entertainment channels add to a wider array of opportunities to the career television journalists, because these are the again content which is expected by the viewers or listeners of the news channels. After gaining experience in the television world, the opportunities are tremendous. Vlogging and video content are becoming more and more popular by the day. Every portal, entertainment channels online and on TV, even corporates want video content of their site. They want everything to be seen by a story or by a video content on their particular website. So more and more freelance, independent and tech journalists are uploading targeted video content on either own channels, on video sharing website, YouTube, or through content aggregating websites and generating traffic over there. So these were the points or career oriented options by the news reporters of television and radio medium, that is audio visual medium. So in this session we discussed about the first unit, where we covered what does a news reporter do, how he or she works, what are the basic qualifications of the news reporter which is required, or how they can upgrade themselves with the technologies or with the technical part of the segment where they are working with. Then we discussed about the job and career opportunities of people or reporter or trainees working with print media, with electronic media, that is audio or visual medium, plus online platform, how they are worked, how they can grow professionally, what are the promotions or what are the increments they can get, and how they have to tackle the news or tackle the on the spot and off the spot news item what they are delivering about. So let us meet in the next session with the detailed information and about the grooming skills of the news reporters and other detailed information. Thank you very much. It was nice speaking to all of you. Thank you.